What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist back at it to bring you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. This time, we're going to be talking about the Chief Librarian of the Blood Angels, Mephiston. Now, this guy is pretty badass. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I used to play Blood Angels for like 2 games back in 5th edition, and that is mainly because of this guy. So before we get into the lore for this guy, I'm going to tell you a little story. So back in the day, I used to play Tau. I collected Tau and I played Tau religiously. And I got my butt whooped religiously. I used to play with Gersh 1. He had the orcs. They used to stop me in close combat, make me run off the board. A friend of ours used to play Salamanders, and he would do drop pods with dreadnoughts and make me run off the board. And our other friend used to play Tyranids, and he would get me in close combat and I would run off the board. So yeah, it sucked playing Tau, so I decided to try some other armies. So I went onto eBay and I'm like, yo, I need something powerful, I need something dope. And I saw a freaking completed Blood Angel army. I'm like, yeah, these guys look pretty badass. I like the lore about them, you know, they're supposed to be like vampires and the Black Rage and the Red Thirst and all that stuff. So I'm like, alright, let's give these guys a shot. So I got some Blood Angels, and I started looking at some of the lore, some tactics and whatnot. I'm like, alright, let's try these guys out. So my first victim was the Tyranid player. So I went one-on-one against him. This guy had literally just finished assembling a Turvigon, and he was like, yo, this guy's the best unit ever. It can birth a bunch of Gaunts, and they're just going to keep on coming unless you roll, you know, 3s. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. And he kept on, the whole game, he kept on talking how awesome his Turvigon one was, how he just finished magnetizing it, and he was going to get it painted up all real nice and pretty. And lo and behold, my Mephiston is out in the open, in charge range of his Turvigon, and you can just see the smile bright and big in this guy. He was like, monstrous creature hitting this one lone guy. He's like, you know, he thought he had it in the bag. So he charged me. My initiative was higher, so I got to hit first. I had force on my weapon, and I inflicted exactly 1 wound on him, which he failed. And lo and behold, my force weapon snuffed out his like 6 wound Turvigon. He was pissed, man. We didn't even finish the game. He literally just stopped talking and just started picking up his minis. This wasn't the first time it happened. Actually, I remember, I think we were doing a 2v2. I think it was me and Gersh against the Turvigon player and the Salamander player. No, I think it was, he was playing Necrons, yeah. And this was back when Necrons used to be, I forgot what they had. They had some special rule where if like 50% of your army died, you lost the game. The Necrons just teleported back. And that actually happened to this guy. He got so pissed, he didn't say anything, he just started picking up his minis and left. So yeah, Mephiston is the friendship ender. But anyway, guys, that was just a little story I thought I'd share with you. If you guys have any experiences like this, where you just ended friendships all thanks to 40k, what model did it, what army did it, and how did it go? Obviously, we're friends again, you know. He just stopped talking to me for like 2 weeks. We couldn't get him to play 40k. But anyway, guys, I want to know what you guys went through. Has this ever happened to you guys? And if so, you know, let me know in the comments. Anyway, let's get to the main meat of this video. 40 facts on Mephiston starts now. Mephiston is the master of the Librarius and the chief librarian of the Blood Angel Space Marines. He is originally known as Battle Brother Castellarius, and he was a librarian of exceptional valor and strength of character. Yet the Black Rage cares not for the nobility of the soul, nor the deeds of the flesh. While fighting before the walls of Hades' hive, during the Second War for Armageddon, the curse of Sanguinius finally stole upon him. Inducted into the Blood Angels' Death Company, Calistarius took part in the final assault on the Echochlorium building at Hades' hive, and he was amongst those buried when the complex collapsed on top of them. Crushed but not dead, the fallen librarian lay trapped for days, screaming and raging as he battled the flaw. Finally, on the 7th night, he emerged victorious, smashing his way out of the rubble as a new and terrible being. Gone was Calistarius. In his place stood Mephiston, one of the most powerful psychers ever to bless the Emperor of Mankind's name, and the only blood angel to ever conquer the Black Rage. The change in him was unprecedented, his physical and mental might pushed to extremes by his reawakened gene seed. Indeed, Mephiston was soon named Chief Librarian of the Blood Angels, and he was viewed by many as a ray of hope in these dark days. After all, if one can conquer the Black Rage, so might others. Yet there are those that whisper that Mephiston may have paid for his resurrections in ways as yet unguessed. Chaos, guys. They're talking about chaos. His resurrection did not go unnoticed. As Mephiston heaved aside the massive boulders from his makeshift tomb, the sound of scraping stone drew the attention of a band of orcs, still roaming around the ruins. Coming upon the stricken Astartes, the orcs thought Mephiston appeared to be easy prey, as did my friends Chervigon, but they were horribly mistaken. Mephiston was weaponless, and his armor was in ruins, and the orcs soon made a decision to attack the helpless space marine. They were outmatched by Mephiston's speed. 5 orcs died within seconds as the Astartes rained down powerful blows upon them that pulverized their flesh and shattered their bones. Too stupid to realize that they were outmatched, the orcs pressed on the attack, but the reborn Blood Angel continued to fight the brutal orcs, until Mephiston punched a hole clear through the chest of the largest orc and ripped out his heart. Under Lord Commander Sir Dante, Mephiston soon became the chief librarian of the Blood Angels, and he became Dante's right-hand man. He is one of only 3 known survivors of the Black Rage, having defeated its hold upon him twice. After soon becoming chief librarian, he was granted the title of Lord of Death. His psychic powers were so great that few can surpass him, and no other member of the Astartes could best him. His skill in combat is comparable to the greatest of heroes of the Imperium of Man. Some say that part of his true power is that of his Primarch, which runs through him since his defeat to the Black Rage, and that he is indeed a true son of Sanguinius. And now we talk about the Wargear of Mephiston. So Mephiston does don the Artificer armor, frag and crack grenades, and a psychic hood. Mephiston's hood is known as the Executioner's Hood. After Mephiston, Chief Librarian of the Blood Angels, was laid low by a Tyranid bioform known as the Mind Death, the Librarians of the Conclave of Blood crafted a defense should they face this beast again. Using the psychically charged fluids from the Maleceptor slain by Lord Commander Dante, the Blood Angel Librarians created a psychic hood keyed to the resonance of the creatures that channeled the will of the hive mind. Though it proved no more effective than a normal psychic hood at thwarting the psychic powers of the hive mind, it does almost completely negate the effects of the Shadow of the Warp on the hood's user. He is also known to carry a plasma pistol. The plasma pistol is the smallest variant in the plasma weapon family. Each shot from a plasma pistol contains all the destructive fury of the larger plasma gun, although with a reduced range and rate of fire. The lethal might of this weapon is useful against both heavily armored infantry and light armored vehicles. When on the battlefield, Mephiston wields Viteris, also known as the Mind Blade. It is an ancient force sword. Legend says that it was personally blessed by the Primarch Sanguinius with a drop of his own blood. When psychic energy draws forth into the blade, it bursts into a crimson flame, kindled with a heat of inner rage. And with that, that is all the time that I have for Mephiston's lore. Now obviously I did not get into every detail of this guy, so if you want more lore on him, head on over to the Lexicanum or the wiki page, or you can just pick up a Blood Angel Codex. Now if you guys don't know, I believe it was, if not today, yesterday, they released some more 8th edition information. And basically the Blood Angels have been cut off from like the major part of the Imperium. So they're pretty screwed right now. And I believe they said like Tyranids are coming their way. So they're currently fighting the beginnings of a huge Tyranid force. And it is unknown if Guilliman and his Primaris Space Marines will make it there on time, since the whole galaxy has been split basically in half, all thanks to the fall of Cadia and that warp tear that happened. So there's going to be some Blood Angel lore coming out, but probably not for a while, since everything's going to be focusing on Guilliman and his Primaris Marines for now. But they did say that the Blood Angels are pretty screwed. So again, guys, let me know what you guys think about Mephiston. Do you guys play him? Has he ended any friendships for you? And also, don't forget to suggest some more 40k characters for me to do. I will also get some 40 facts on the weaponry of the Adeptus Mechanicus. I was going to do that today, but I saw my friend and he reminded me of Mephiston, and I'm like, hey, let's do a 40 facts on this dude. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit us up on all of our social media sites, especially Facebook, since we post there each and every day. As always, guys, I'm the Sound Alchemist, part of the One Mind Syndicate, and I am signing out.